What was that? I asked, turning to my coworker. My eyes locked on her. I just heard something move, she said, her voice edged with fear. I let out a low chuckle, convinced she was just exhausted. We've been working overtime, no rest since sunrise, and still hours left before morning. You're just imagining things, Lilith, I said calmly, turning back to the documents I was shelving. Without saying a word, I pulled a piece of gum from my pocket and tossed one to her. The wrapper echoed in the quiet room. "Thank you," her voice whispered. I nodded, then popped the gum into my mouth, whistling as I chewed. Suddenly, something shifted at the corner of my eye. I snapped my head up, scanning the quiet office. The room was still, too still. My gaze drifted to Lilith. She didn't react, didn't flinch, just stood there like nothing had happened. But I saw it, didn't I? I tilted my head back, eyes tracing the ceiling tiles. My hand moved to my forehead, sliding down as I rubbed my eye. Did I imagine it? I muttered under my breath. Maybe I didn't, I said, letting out a low, barely audible chuckle. I lowered my head slowly. The air shifted, colder than it had any right to be. A chill slid down my spine. Something was there. "Lilith?" I whispered. She raised her eyes toward me, but she didn't blink. I slowly stepped back on my toes. I pressed a finger to my lips. "There's something in the hallway," I breathed. Color drained from Lilith's face. The sound she'd heard earlier. Was it an armed robber, or something that didn't need a door to get in? The atmosphere tightened. I swallowed hard. Carefully, I walked toward the door. Then I stopped, right in front of it, my hands trembling. The hallway was just on the other side. "Damn it, this is exactly how horror movies start," I muttered. The sarcasm in my voice didn't hide the fear. "Go, you're the man," she whispered, cowering beside one of the office tables. A flush of annoyance crept across my face. Tch, I ground my teeth, grinning. I turned back toward the door. Gently, I twisted the handle. A brush of eerie wind swept across my face. I pushed the door open, slowly poking my head out. I prayed, hoping it's not what I feared. I hoped it was just one of Hans's pranks. The hallway was empty, eerily quiet. Was I mistaken? I asked myself. There, I felt it, a presence, behind me, menacing. My head stiffened. Fear gripped the very core of my soul. Complete terror washed over me. "Don't look back, Arnold. Don't you dare look back," I muttered to myself. "Hey!" Lilith's voice cut through the silence. "What's there, Arnold? What's there?" Her voice kept calling, slicing through every thought in my head. I turned my head slowly to the other side of the hallway. My breath grew heavier with every second. And then, I saw it. A tall, demonic silhouette standing in the pitch-black hallway. Only its outline visible against faint, distant backlight. No facial features. Elongated limbs, unnatural proportions, deep shadows swallowing the walls. Its long, distorted shadow stretched toward me. Jesus Christ! I sprang back into the office, slamming the door shut. My legs gave out. I fell, crawling backward to the far edge of the office wall. My clothes were drenched in sweat. Every breath felt extremely heavy. Lilith looked at me in terror. "Arnold, what did you see?" she cried. I pointed toward the door, hands shaking. My mind oblivious to the fact I had just peed my pants. There's something. My words hung in my throat, struggling to escape. A loud scratch on the door pierced the hallway. Lilith screamed, crawling toward me, clutching my arm. Clinging to me like I'm supposed to die for her. Seriously? I've never even cracked this girl once. Another piercing scratch tore across the door. Death was slowly approaching. I knew I had to do something. I forced myself up, legs trembling beneath me. My eyes darted toward the window, desperate for another way out. 30 floors below, the street looked like a distant blur of lights. Jumping wasn't escape.
It was a death sentence. I turned back to her. Lilith, that thing is not human.